Hi guys, I don't know how to start the most meaningful podcast of my life. Hi, it's 30th of June. It's 30th of July. I'm your host of Sportcast. I'm Lando Gradacevic, and it's big pleasure to announce the my favorite female fighter, Jasmine Jasudavicius. But first, I have to notice you guys. She shouldn't be there. Not for fourth time like she's today. She shouldn't be there. Never, because I'm not a member of few of big media. My podcast is not the most watched in my country, and that's factors because I am not I'm not talking with other big fighters, big names, but Jazz was kind from day one, and she was always here to talk with me, and she was always answering on messages, and also like that. I appreciate that, and she's here to talk about herself today. And guys, I hope that you will enjoy in that podcast as much as I will. So, Jazz, welcome for fourth time. It's big pleasure to have you in my show.
No, it's always great to chat with you.
Thank you, and thank you for great energy every time. So, first of all, uh, uh, how proud you are on your Lithuanian origins, and uh, how how important was Lithuanian community for you in building you as a person you are now?
No, like the Lithuanian culture was like huge in my family. I mean, my both my parents they are Lithuanian, so I'm full blood Lithuanian. But yeah, it's like very important to have like the culture and especially the food. I love the food, so it's important to me to like show the culture. I think Lithuanians are very strong, and I like to represent them well.
Yes. Okay. Can you uh, talk more about your culture, and what do the Lithuanian guys special for you? And
Sorry, which is what?
on anyway, how uh, what make them special, and I so I want to say unique in comparison of other cultures, because in Canada you have too much different cultures, too much different looks on life. uh, so uh, what's Lithuanian gives to Canada, and what's makes them different than others.
Um, I think that Lithuanians are different than Canadians, just because I feel like they're more proud, and they have like a bit more of a like not maturity, but like just I don't know. I think that Lithuanians like carry themselves very well, and I think that it just like it shows that like how good people they are and how strong they are and resilient, and that they can overcome anything. I think it's like strength in the blood.
So, who are the best representatives of Lithuanian culture and Lithuania as a country in Canada and also in US, because the ex champion of strawweight division, Rose Namajunas, is also proud Lithuanian, same as you. So
Yeah, exactly. There. I think all the Lithuanians that you ever see that are that are in sport, like um, Valanciunas and everything. So I think that it's a small country, but people are very strong from there.
yes, and also one more connection between Canada and Lithuania last event that you showed up in on UFC Canada in Toronto. You actually perform in front of the biggest Lithuanian community in Canada. So the most Lithuanians in Canada live in Toronto. So you have double home court.
Oh, that's good to hear. I didn't know that it was the biggest community in Toronto. Well, I'm glad that I got to show well for them.
So second second thing is about you and your childhood. What how was your childhood look like, and uh, what's lead you to fighting? So
So
what made you girl who you are?
so I growing up, I had I know kind of regular family. My dad was a firefighter. My mom, she had like a couple different jobs, like throughout my life. But a lot of the time, like she was at home, like raising us kids until I think my youngest. I have an older brother and a younger sister, and until my sister was like in grade 4 or something. I think that like that was important. That my parents decided that it was important for my mom to stay home to like raise us kids, and so I think she like raised us really well, and taught us the importance of like cooking and the value of like knowing how to properly cook and fuel your body. Um, and yeah, I had an older brother and a younger sister, and they were wild, and I would always follow my brother around, and he would get me into trouble. He would always dare me to do things like do big jumps on my bike, or try to jump over a fence, or like always like active things, and he would always dare me to do it, and I would always obviously always do them for some silly reason. But yeah, I was kind of like a little bit wild as a kid. Always played sports, and then I was just like going. I was going to school, and I was like doing a little bit of traveling, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And then I I kind of like fell into martial arts. So there's guy I was dating at the time. He was cornering former UFC fighter Jason Sago. So then he was going out to help him with a training camp, and so he invited me to come out, and then I came out and like found out what martial arts was. They were in the gym training every day, and I was just like watching, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then afterwards they were sparring the one day, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like I really like this. Like, can I do it? I want to go spar. And they're like, no, you're not going from like nothing to sparring. So then I got afterwards, we got back home, and then I started like training a little bit, and I like kind of fell in love with the sport, and just continued training, and then made like little goals along the way, and here we are now.
Yes, here we are now. You are top 15 in flyweight division. Your came from nowhere to top 15 to from lose to Natalia Silva to dominant victory over Miranda Maverick. It's wild. It was wild. 35, 36. It was wild. Wild the year for you, and you showed how mentally strong you are, and how hard work and hard working mentality can bring you far in how far can bring you in your life. So it was pleasure to watch all your fights in that time. But I have one question. One question for you. It's very special for me. That question. Uh, who teach you to be such a loyal and kind girl? How you become that version of yourself? Because it's you showed up every time in conversations with me in chats on YouTube, or private or private in DMs. So uh, who is the most important teacher in your life?
Um, I mean, I don't know, probably my parents, I guess. Like, I watched them work hard and take care of us, and always like do the right thing, even if it was challenging. So I guess they probably taught me what my moral code.
Nice. Thanks them for you once again, and you're really really great person. It's always pleasure to have your time. So you mentioned that you travel a lot. Can you describe us? Can you tell us which places are the was the most beautiful for you, and can you take us to through your memories from traveling?
Yeah, so I did quite a bit of traveling when I was young. Well, in my 20s, like I did that whole backpacking through Europe thing. I When I was 21, I was there for like just over 2 months, and I went to like I think I went to 11 different countries, something like that. And I got to go to Lithuania. I was there for like 2 weeks, and we went to a medieval festival, which was really cool. And yeah, I got to like ride my bike all around and like see the city. So that was a like beautiful experience for me. I made a lot of friends there, which was nice. And but yeah, so I traveled all around Europe, and then I've been to Thailand. I did training in Thailand. I did like Muay Thai fighting. I did a Muay Thai fight there. My very first professional fight that I ever got paid for was there. So that was like a really really cool experience for me. I have desire to go back to like Thailand again, but or any type of like Asian countries. I haven't been to too many, but yeah. Other than that, um, been to a couple other spots, but I really enjoy traveling, and one thing that's unfortunate with martial arts is you get to travel a lot for it. So it's nice to travel and train, mix business and pleasure.
Absolutely. I expect you to I expect to see you in Hvar as soon as possible. See you in my city in near future. I hope so. So you will have I hope that you will have chance to go to my city. So the invitation is here. So whenever you
Thank
can,
you.
you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're always welcome. So, uh, can you remember your first amateur fight and how was going for that fight for you? And uh, is that help you to build your foundation for what are you today in as a fighter? So
Yeah, I remember my first amateur fight. It was like probably my favorite fight because it was my first. I went against a girl. She was like the hometown girl in Rochester, New York, and I remember like seeing her at weigh-ins and being pretty nervous because I was like, oh, okay, like this girl's a little bit bigger than I thought. She was like the same size as me, but yeah, I remember being very very nervous and like walking out and being pretty nervous on the walkout. But once you're in there, then and the cage door closes, then it's like that all goes away. Like you're just excited to fight and ready to do it. And when you're in the fight, it like goes by like that. It was like a blur. I don't even remember the fight very much. But just like the feeling after was like absolutely amazing. And it's like going in there and training your butt off, like training so hard leading up, and then to see everything like fulfilled on that night, it's like such a great experience. Like, and winning is so awesome. And so yeah, like my very first fight, like that's how I caught the bug and figured out that I do enjoy fighting and I want to continue pursuing this.
Yes, and you have a couple more of amateur fights. You have four fights in amateur career, 4 wins, 2 finishes. So, uh, which was your best performance in amateur career?
Um, I don't know. Like probably, I guess my best one would be my last one. I don't really like. I remember my amateur career, but it's like you're so young in the sport. You don't. I don't really remember like the fights that much. So I would guess like maybe my last one I would have been the most skilled. So that would probably be my best performance.
Thank you. And then was transition to professional career. How can you describe me the difference between amateur MMA and professional MMA? Especially, can you describe differences in the rule sets? What is the biggest difference in uh,
Uh,
in in between amateur and professional MMA?
for amateur, it's 3 minutes, 3 minute rounds, and for professional, it's 5 minute rounds. So it'll be either three threes or three fives, and then depending on the commission, there won't be ground and pound. Some commissions they allow it, some commissions they don't. It kind of depends on it, whatever place that is putting on the show. But yeah, the biggest difference is the time. It's 5 minutes as opposed to 3 minutes.
Thank you. And you have to raise up your cardio when you transition to professional MMA. How difficult was that? Because cardio is one of the biggest factors in a game. If you have cardio for your style, you probably have more chance to be a champion. If you guessed out in third or second or third round, you probably can lose the fight via stoppage or via decision. So can you describe us how you building up your cardio in that time of transition from amateur to professional MMA?
Yeah, the cardio is important. You're always training that the cardio. But yeah, usually what you do for to transition it is just start doing 5 minute rounds in the gym instead of doing your 3 minute rounds, and then that's just continually like doing that will build your cardio.
Can you describe us your style in early career? What do you prefer to do most? Very a wrestler or slash clinch fighter. So I saw some videos from your younger career. You love to clinch girls and digging knees to the body, and also you love to counter wrestle to go ducking under the punches and create takedowns and control with some ground and pound from the top. So which was your style in a first few fights?
I think I did a lot more striking in my first couple fights. I didn't grapple as much. It wasn't until later in my career I grappled.
So we saw that grappling in you, that grappler in you in a fight with Palestro and also Kay Hansen. But in my opinion, those girls, I respect all the fighters, but those girls were not on your level. So it was like those fights were just prepares for preparations for bigger fights. So what you learn the most in those victories, because you have also some struggles in those fights that you have victories. So what was your biggest lessons in those victories? Because if you have victory, it doesn't mean that you have perfect fight.
Yeah, so after each fight, then I'll go back with like my team and my coaches and watch the fight and think of like, okay, how would I beat this girl? How do I like? I'll watch my own fight and then be like, okay, this is how I would beat myself, and then so after that fight, that's what I work on, like moving forward on like just closing the gap on those holes.
So, what is your biggest hole in your game, in your opinion, and how hard you work to fix that hole?
Well, I'm not gonna tell you my biggest hole because what if somebody sees? So yeah, I'm just continuing to work on all the aspects of my game.
Correct answer, Jazz. Correct answer. Did you have maybe something more to say about you before we going out? So, can you can you give us something special from your life? Some things that you've done, or some situation you have been in.
Um, a situation. I don't know about a situation I've been in, but I've been training hard. Every single day since I started martial arts. I've been training my ass off, and I continue. Like I don't have other distractions. I'm all in 100% on like fighting and like doing the best and being the best that I could possibly be. So make sure to check my fight out September 16th. I'm fighting a girl named Tracy Cortez. And yeah, check it out. I'm going to whoop her ass.
Absolutely. I will be with you as usual. I am your biggest supporter, as you know. So the last message to young girls who will probably be the fighters in the future. What Jazz can said to them? And the last one.
To the young girls is that just get into martial arts and try it, even if you don't want to compete or do anything like that. I think it's very important for young girls to do martial arts and to develop that like inner confidence just for themselves. I think that yeah, go to a gym and just commit to it for a little while because it will be a really rewarding thing.
Thank you, Jazzy, for your time. It's always pleasure to have you in my show. Send you hugs and love from Juar. It's always been great to call you my girl, and my girl. Thank you for great Sunday chat, and have great rest of that Sunday, and also have a successful next week. Thank you for love and thank you for everything.
Thank you.